Hi guys, today we'll learn about different data types in C++. So as you saw in the last video, there are some data types like integer, string, etc. But let's learn it in detail. So I have defined A as an int, B as long, C as character, D as float, E as double, F as a string here. So now I'll take these as inputs, and for what integer is an integer, that is 1 2 3 4 5 minus 1 2 3 4 5, that is the integer that's there. And long, what long is a long integer. So if it's a large integer value, then that will be a long integer, whereas char is a character. So characters like a b c d e, or characters like comma, full stop, etc., come under character. Float is a decimal point value, floating or a floating point. Double is also a decimal or a decimal value. String is a string of characters, right? So let's just take input one by one and see how it works. So I'll see in A, C in B, C in C, etc. Now what I'll do is I'll see out A, see out B, and see out C. So integers I'll put it as, let's say, 5. Long I'll put it as, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and character I'll put it as, let's say, dot. Now if I press Ctrl B, so 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 dot. So how to put a character in a new line, or how to output in a new line? So there is a special notation for it called as \n, or we can also put endl. So this is a slightly different notation. So both endl or end line can be used, or \n can be used to go to a next line in output.txt file, or to print a new line. Now as you can see here, we can also output in C++. We can also do this kind of staggered notation, where you can pass variables and store variables values in a somewhat similar fashion. So as you saw this new type of notation, I'll start using the new type of notation now. So what I can do is I can just do C in A, B, C, D, E, and F, and the stream of values get inputted just like that. Now I'll do C out A, B, C, D, E, and F. So now what will happen is, now I'll give a float value of, let's say, 5.5, double value of, let's say, 9.10123, and a string value of, let's say, name 123 last. Now if I just Control B, so this is what the output will look like. So now I'll just write \n and endl randomly here for after all the variables, to show what it will actually look like. Yeah, so 5 1.12345 dot 5.59.0123 name last. So I'll just show you the consequence. I'll just make it such that it is better for a reading. So I'll just do it something like this. A B C D E and F. So if I control B again, as you can see, it's the same thing. So this is a same kind of input and output, even though the syntax differs. Now what I'll do is I'll just give random things. I'll pass random things to random data types, and let's see what happens. So for integer A, I know it's an integer, but I'll pass a character. Long is a long integer, but I'll pass a string here like ABCD, and character is a character, and I can't do anything. I'll pass a dot or a comma. Float is a decimal point, so I'll pass something like again ABC point DEF. Now double is something like I'll just pass ABC dot DEF, and string I'll pass it as 1 2 3. Let's see what happens, and let's see what will happen when we execute this. Yeah, as you can see, it gives an error because we can't take such random inputs. It gives an error and it gives some bit values. So these are bit values, each of these form a byte, and these are bit values, and it gives error. So as you see right now, let's fix it again. Int should be an integer, so I'll give -1. Long should be a long integer, I'll give it as -5. Character should be a character, I'll give it as minus. Float, I'll give it as -0.001, and double I'll give it as -0.00001, and string I'll give it as 1 2 3 dot minus. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it's working. But as you can see here, for the E value, it's showing as -1 e to the power -005. So what does this actually mean? So for the E value, it's a double. So double actually approximates the values. So 1 e to the power -5 is nothing but here -1, and dots, the dots get moved one by one. 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dot, and the fifth dot is somewhere on the left here. Fifth one is 5 dots on the right of 1, so that is why it's 1 e to the power -005. So if you have a math background, you will understand it very easily. So this is how the data types are. So as you see here, even if it's a minus or a plus, integer will be an integer as said. So even if it's 0 is also an integer, so it will work the same. So that is how the data types of C++ work. Thank you.